Hey everybody, this is Cody Knight 22 here. Welcome to Cody Talks Fandom, episode number 43. Of course, this is an odd number. This is going to be an interview episode. This will be with a cosplayer. But before I get into that, a brief reminder. For Cody Talks Fandom RTX Edition, I do have enough money to get the camera. If you want to keep donating, that will go towards a tripod and a microphone, but I can handle that. So super duper big thanks to all of you. But are you going to RTX? And do you want to do a brief little interview while you're there? Go ahead, sign up. You can find out how in the description below. It should be like one of the first links. I think it's like the third link, which is to the signups, and just send it in, and I will do my best to hopefully get around to you, and we can just do a short little like 5-question interview, and it'll be a lot of fun. But back to today's business. This is an interview, and it is with a cosplayer as voted on by all of you, and this one is somebody that I'm very excited to have on the show. Somebody who is most likely best known for doing many versions of Ren cosplays, but has done other fantastic characters such as Professor Ozpin within the RWBY fandom. Everybody, please welcome to the show, J-Jocosplay.
Hi! I don't know what else to say. You did such a great job introducing me.
Yeah.
Really excited to be on the show. I've loved the interviews you've done before, and I was like super psyched out when you actually asked me to be on it. I was like, oh my god!
Yeah. I'm excited to have you on. You have been somebody that has been really near the top of the list since since I opened this up to cosplayers. When I had cosplayers in mind, you were one of the people that was definitely on the list. You were only below Ask Kitten Tits, Ali and Rio, who I did have on first, and they were a lot of fun. And then Riot as well, who I had a lot. I speak on a show for lots of people, and I can't talk. And also Riot, who's also a lot of fun to have on. But now it's your turn, and I'm very excited to have you on. Today, you have 32 questions, assuming I didn't fuck up. You have 32 questions.
Oh, wow.
And one little side note thing that will be in story time, which is a lot of fun, and people should watch story time. First question is, how did you first discover RWBY?
Let's see. I know the black trailer had just come out. Yellow trailer wasn't out yet. I think I was in Korea studying abroad, and I was just feeling really homesick, so I was, distracting myself using the internet. And I stumbled across it somehow. I'm not sure whether it was through YouTube being like, watch this video, or some friend posting it. But I remember seeing the black trailer, and I watched it, and I was like, oh shit, that's amazing. Oh, I should probably watch my mouth. Oh wow, that's amazing. Jinkies, mister. No. But yeah, sorry, I'm kind of a potty mouth. I thought it was amazing. I watched the white trailer and the red trailer, and I got super psyched into it. I got back to America, started sharing it with my friends. The yellow trailer came out, got really excited about it all. And that was just, all downhill from there. I mean, I've loved the show ever since I saw that first trailer. Actually, initially, before the show actually started, I was beginning to make plans to cosplay Weiss because I loved the white trailer. But then the show started, and I got to see all the guys, and I'm such a big crossplayer, and it was like, no Weiss, I'm sorry. I love them so much, I must cosplay them.
Next question is, when and how did you begin cosplaying? It's the first user submitted question, and that's from Endoberry on Tumblr.
Oh, I love her. Hey, Endoberry. We have a lot of series in common that we both love, so I've seen her name pop up a lot, so I very much recognize Endoberry, and I love her. I started cosplaying, I believe it was 2007. My friend told me about this crazy thing called an anime convention, and that the people who go to this event dress up as anime characters. And I took that as cosplay was required dress to attend the convention. So in a week, I threw together a really quick, no idea what I was doing, Sango costume from Inuyasha. And I get to the con, and the first thing that happens is I get told I can't come in because my boomerang bone is too big. And I'm like, what? But yeah, no, so we managed to put that away in the car, and I went around. I got my first lesson in posing because, you know, people came up for my photo, which was like, oh my god, people actually want a picture of me? I look like shit. So yeah. And then I had one guy be like, can you not just stand there? Like, maybe pull your sword out and, like, you know, pose a little, have expression on your face. And I was like, oh, that would be smart. I should do that. So that was my introduction to cosplay. I didn't do as much after that for a while. Like, I met other cosplayers when I started going to college in 2008, so, like, that next year. But I didn't really do much myself because I didn't really have much confidence or knowledge on how to, like, do anything. It wasn't until I transferred to the University of Hawaii and met some cosplayers there who were very, very good friends of mine. I absolutely love them all. They started teaching me how to, like, make stuff and do things by basically using me to get their own costumes done. Like, I remember one friend was working on a Vincent Knight Ray cosplay, and con was coming up, you know, we had a deadline. I didn't know how to make stuff, so I already bought my costume online, so I was, you know, nothing to do here, and so she's like, EJ, pin this for me, or J-Jo, yeah. For those of you who don't know, J-Jo is my cosplay name, but I go also by EJ. They're interchangeable. You can refer to me by whichever, and I'll probably turn my head. You could probably just go, hey, you, and I will look at you. So, yeah, they were like, EJ, pin this for me. I was like, I don't know how to do that. You take the pins, and you put them in the fabric. I now know how to do that. I will do it for you. And so that was how I got started into actually making my own costumes, was having my friends teach me while doing their costumes how to do it, and, you know, it just all builds up from there. So that was how I got into
another
cosplay.
meaning to the friends with benefits.
Yeah, with cosplay, there's a lot of benefits you can get from your friends. I need you to pose as my gay boyfriend. If you love me, you will do this for me.
Oh man, those conversations sounds like they would have been really fun to hear. That's beautiful. All right. Next question. What was the first RWBY cosplay you remember seeing?
I remember on the internet, I started looking up RWBY cosplay when I started thinking about making my own. Or maybe I was just looking up images from RWBY, but I saw a picture from a convention. And they had a RWBY and I think a Blake, and next to them was someone in a black Sentai suit with a big yellow wig, because, I mean, the yellow trailer hadn't come out yet, so we only had the silhouette of Yang, and I just thought that was the most, like, coolest thing that they had cosplayed the silhouette. That's the first one I remember seeing. It was just, like, I was going through Google Images, I don't know who the cosplayer was. If you are that Yang silhouette, you are awesome.
Whoever cosplayed Yang silhouette, or yellow silhouette.
Yes!
Silhouette, as we knew it at the time.
Yeah, because we didn't know the name at the time, yeah. First one in person, let's see, I was at Anime Expo 2013. I was just back from Korea, was moving back to Virginia from going to school in Hawaii, and I just gotten my friend, HS Media into cosplay, or not cosplay, into cosplaying RWBY in the future with me, possibly. And so she knew of it, I knew of it, and we happened to see, like, a small group of RWBY cosplayers at the convention, and I was, like, freaking out. I was like, you have to get pictures of them! You have to get pictures of them! So she went and she got some, and I think some video. So if you ever want to check out HS Media's 2013 convention videos, because she does the videography, I think there's a shot of some RWBY cosplayers, and they were the first ones I saw in person. Again, don't know who they are. It was just, I saw them in the hallway and was like, oh my god, it's RWBY!
If you're one of those people.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Check it out.
All right. Next question. I lost my place already. Okay. What made you decide to cosplay for RWBY?
Well, like I said, I was planning on doing Weiss when it was just the trailers coming out, so the white character, and my reason for doing that is because, one, Weiss fit my body type like most anime girls don't. There's a reason I cosplay dudes. And it's not just because the pants, although that is up there. That is very high up there. I don't have a very feminine body. I'm not curvy. I am a stick. And I'm okay with that. But it means that sometimes when I look at anime girls, I'm like, I could never pull that off in a million years. So when I saw Weiss, I was like, I actually have that body type. I'm pale. I love the way she moves, the weapons, the design. Everything was just so beautiful. It was like ballet and ice skating all in together, and it was just gorgeous. Everything. And the character designs, of course, of RWBY are all
Fantastic.
just amazing. As a cosplayer, nothing's like... Cosplayers cosplay characters because they like them, and also because they like how they look and the challenge of like making that stuff. And for me, RWBY was both, where the outfits and the designs were just so great and the characters seemed so wonderful. And then the series started. I have to admit, when I actually met Weiss, it was a bit of a, oh wow, you are different from how I imagined you.
And that's what happened episode 2.
Yep, that was episode 2.
The general reaction
and then,
from the fandom.
Yep. Because she went from being this graceful ice princess to this ice bitch. And I still love her, and I love how the series is going, and I would actually think about cosplaying her. It's just not high on my to-do list because I have so many other things. But when I saw Ren pop up, oh god, Ren hits every single aesthetic favorite of mine ever. So I was like, that's it. I'm sold. I have to do this.
Just in case you couldn't tell, J-Jo's cosplayed a couple Rens. I only have 2 of like the 8, I think is what it is. I could be wrong about that 8.
Let's see. Well, I mean, of canon versions of Ren, I've done the formal dance, the food fight version,
3.
and his regular. Yeah. From there, yeah, I've gotten creative. I've borrowed from some AUs. I've done some original sort of designish stuff. I have, if you know the Cos Planner app, it's a wonderful app. Total plug here for that app. It's great. Mine has like 10 more versions of Lie Ren on it, which I'm slowly working on. So I actually have one finished. I just haven't had a chance to get any photos of it. So yeah, look forward to that soon.
This episode of Cody Talks Fandom brought to you by Cosplanner. Cosplanner. It's an app.
It's an amazing app.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh gosh. Lie Ren, obviously.
What?
I do. I love him. I love him so much. I love like his. We don't see much of him, which might mean part of the reason I love him so much is because I read so much more into him than, because I fill in the gaps with what I like. But I love his relationship with Nora. I loved his little bro talk with John. That was so beautiful.
Bro talk, yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't much talking outside of it.
And you. But yeah, let's see, other favorite characters. Mercury, he's such an asshole and I love him.
He's such a wonderful asshole.
Oh yeah. I love them all. But yeah, Mercury and Ren are 2 of my favorites. Of the girl characters, I think I have to say Kira, probably. She's so sweet and precious.
I'm sorry. Captain Canada.
I actually made a post once about how screen capped, like, when Pyrrha says, I think I'll just let the chips fall where they may. And then I'm like, is pinning a boy to a tree letting the chips fall where they may?
I don't know. Oh man, you might have seen this post. It was another one, except it was a couple screen caps. It was, I'm planning on letting the chips fall where they may, and it shows Pierre like on the tree in the Emerald Forest, like, lol JK, that booty is mine.
Oh my god, I think I've seen that. Oh my god.
Booty acquired.
Yep.
I wish I could credit whoever made that, but I don't remember.
Mad
who
props
did
to you if you made that amazingly funny post.
That was so funny. It's like, but that's so true. That's what happened in the show.
Yep. And so I like that Pyrrha kind of like has those two sides to her. The side that's like all sweet and, you know, girl next door, but then she also kind of is like will be kind of sneaky to get what she wants, like
the booty acquired.
Yeah, and she, like, you know, keeps her powers a secret from her competitors, and she doesn't tell Jean that, you know, she helped a little bit with Ursa fight, because, you know, she wants him to get that confidence, and so I like that she has those two sides to her. It makes her a very rounded character and lots of depth.
Alright, which character do you associate with yourself the most?
I associate myself with Lie Ren the most, probably, because my cosplay alias has become, like, synonymous with my Lie Ren cosplays. Like, I mean, that's... Before I cosplayed Lie Ren, I was pretty much a nobody in a sea of a million other cosplayers. I started cosplaying Lie Ren, and that was what everyone started to know me as. And, I mean, part of that, I will fully admit, is because, again, I was kind of running unopposed. There aren't a lot of other Lie Ren cosplayers out there that do a lot of content like I do. So I know that's part of the reason why I'm popular. But yeah, so that's probably the one I associate with myself the most, just by being, like, you know, linked with my name. The one I personally feel the most in common with is actually Nora.
Wow.
And me and Queen-Valkyrie have actually talked about this, where, like, she cosplays Nora, I cosplay Ren, but when we're together, she is the Lie Ren personality, and I am the Nora personality, and I'm like, I make messes, and I do crazy shit, and everyone's just like, J-Jo, no! J-Jo, stop!
Oh,
like,
wow. That is incredible.
One time we were doing some cosplay gifts, and I was, you know, as in Ren, the Pompous Pickle was there doing a little bit of Pyrrha, and we were at Queen-Valkyrie's, and we were doing, no, it wasn't cosplay gifts, it was a live stream, because we used to have those every once in a while, where we just do cosplay live streams, where, you know, people like Jean Vomit Boy Arc would usually organize them, and everyone would just pop in and cosplay, or not, and people would ask questions. It was a lot of fun. So, I don't remember what started this, but someone was like, do something crazy, or, you know, whatever, and I just was like, okay, and I face-planted directly into the pizza we'd ordered, and it was just like, no hesitation, just do something crazy, alright, splat! And the Pompous Pickle and Queen-Valkyrie were just like, J-Jo, what the fuck? You got pizza sauce everywhere. You're a mess. Why did you do that? And I was like, they said to do something, and I did it. And then we had a repeat of this where we were walking around Sakura Matsuri, and I got Sakura Matsuri is the Sakura festival up in DC. I usually go to. Was not doing RWBY cosplay then, but I was hanging out with the same people, and I'd gotten funnel cake,
Jesus.
and we'd finished it off, and so I just had a whole bunch of powdered sugar left on my plate. And they're like, oh, she's gonna do something weird, you know, oh, J-Jo, do it. And so I was like, okay, and I just put the plate on top of my head upside down, and just powdered sugar all over my wig, all over my costume. I was just, like, covered in powdered sugar, and they were like, we didn't actually mean for you to do it! So yeah, don't tell me to do it unless you're prepared for me to do it.
Oh my god. Wow.
So yeah, I personality-wise, I associate the most with Nora, because I kind of do whatever crazy, not exactly thinking things through.
Oh my god, that was perfect.
Yay.
I'm sure that everybody watching this stream was like really surprised to like do something crazy, and then you did it dressed as Ren. It's just like, what
Oh
the fuck?
yeah. They've also had moments because I used to live like really close to Queen-Valkyrie, so one person was like, "Oh, Ren, I dare you to like kiss Nora," thinking we would do it through the screen, and I was just like, "Give me 15 minutes," and I leave, leaving my computer on, so my camera's just showing the like a wall, and then 15 to 20 minutes later, I show up at Queen-Valkyrie's, and she's just like, "I can't believe you did that," and I do the cute little cutesy stuff, and everyone's like, "What the shit? Why do you do these things?"
That's straight out of a movie, right? Like that's just like a scene straight out of a cartoon or something. Of just like, give me 1 second, just like walks to somewhere else. Wow, that is man. I now want to just like have a thing where I just like give various like requests. I guess is the way I was gonna say commands, but that doesn't sound as good. You give like various requests and just see what you do.
Well, I mean, I do record GIFs, so if people want to send me something,
do that.
Yeah.
Next question. What member of Team RWBY needs more attention and why? This is from Knight6831 on YouTube.
All right. I think Yang.
Okay.
Like, because I mean, we've gotten a lot of Blake development, and it's been amazing, and we've gotten a bit of Ruby's development, and we've gotten a bit of Weiss, but I feel like Yang has the most unexplored depth. And I mean, Yang seems like a sort of flat character at first, she's the party girl, but she's got so much depth to her and warmth, and I love Yang's personality, because she can be like the irresponsible party girl-esque person, but at the same time she's teen mom, and she's like such a wonderful, and she has like that little peak we got in season 2. Oh, I loved that character development where we began to see into the depths of Yang, and so I would love to see more development with Yang.
Mm-hmm. All right. Actually, part of my my show outside of doing the interviews, I've been doing a series that's just like a little mini series within the actual series of fan and interpretation is what I'm calling it, and it's just talking about like the characters and whatnot. And what I always say for Yang is that she is the only character that was immediately introduced as being very three-dimensional, because she was introduced as literally, her trailer was literally her walking up flirty. I was gonna say flirty, but that's not a real word, is it? Very flirty. And then she's like goes into give me what I want, and then she goes back to flirty, and then she goes to I'm gonna kick the shit out of everybody, and then at the very end she just goes to, or not, well, before that actually, she goes into like full on berserk mode because Junior touched her hair. And what should be revealed? This one is once again from Knight6831 on YouTube.
What should be revealed?
Yeah.
Ren and Nora backstory. I am very excited for this village that, they brought up very briefly, and I do want to know more about them, because I mean, like, Ren is my favorite character. I love Renora. I want to see, what's going on with them, because they're also the two characters who've had the very least amount of backstory and development, of the main 8, at least.
Okay. I was going to say, well, it's Sage and Scarlet.
I like, of the A team and B team, those two are, like, the least known and, like, have the least going on. I mean, there's a ton of things I would love revealed, including Sage and Scarlet. But, yeah, that's one of the things that's really, like, I want to see what's going on with those two.
What's your favorite ship?
I might get murdered over this, but I really like Sunflower, which is Ren with Yang.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, I love Renora, and I totally think it's going to be canon. And I don't like have any of this, I need Sunflower to be canon. No. For me, shipping is, that looks pretty. I like it. I ship it. So I pretty much ship anything and everything.
Hey.
Like, I remember someone drew some fan art of Ren and Sun, and I was just like, that's hot. I ship it.
That was probably Miss Nerdgasms.
Actually, no, it was one other
Was it
person,
not?
and then Miss
Oh, wow.
Nerdgasm started doing a whole bunch of that art, and she had a genre, so it was Lie, Cheat, and Steal.
Lie, cheat, and steal. Yeah,
Most beautiful
that's a beautiful
OT3
OG
name.
thing.
Like, it was just so clever. Like, I mean, half the time I ship things just because the ship name is so clever. But yeah, I really love, like, Chicharon, who does the Rue Bunnies art. She draws
Oh,
this great sunflower art that just made me fall in love with that ship because it's cute but sexy, and there's just I love the way she draws them together, and it made me really ship it. And I mean, I still like Renora is what I think and hope happens, but I love seeing sunflower art on my dash.
and what Jeff Williams told us happened.
Yeah. So I mean, I know it's not canon, but I'm just like that is my little guilty pleasure. I love seeing those two together.
What cosplayers did you draw inspiration from?
Um, they're most of them are not RWBY cosplayers, so I'm not going to be surprised if no one's heard of them. But a lot of the cosplayers who inspired me, there was Zimiel, who is a Australian cosplayer. She does really amazing crossplay. I think she's moving to London now because I remember seeing an announcement about that. But she was an Australian cosplayer. She's absolutely fabulous. I really love her style of makeup, especially because as a Caucasian person cosplaying a bunch of Japanese anime characters, I run into issues with how to do my makeup, and I see these amazing, amazing tutorials for eye makeup and stuff, and I'm like, yes, I will try that. And I follow what the person's doing, and then I open my eyes, and because I have Caucasian eyes and not Asian eyes, it all disappears up into my eyelid when I open my eyes, and I'm like, oh no, I can't do any of that. So when I found Zimiel, she was Caucasian and still managed to do absolutely amazing makeup, and so I used her as a lot of inspiration for how I learned how to do my own makeup. Another cosplayer who really inspires me with her crossplay is Nanjo Koji, who is a German cosplayer, really famous for what she does with Riku from Kingdom Hearts. She actually started a theater production, which is kind of inspired, I believe, by Tarazuka in Japan, and she does Sailor Moon musicals and stuff like that in Germany, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Not to mention, she has some of the most risque yaoi photo shoots that you could possibly imagine between two women, because it's like, that does not look like a woman in that photo. She is completely shirtless, and I am like, hot damn. So yeah, a lot of inspiration for posing and crossplay there, and some big ones more local. Up in Canada, I really love Twin Fools and his cosplay work because he does such a great job. And his group, Fighting Dreamers Pro, does these amazing CMVs, not AMVs, that I absolutely love watching, and I was like, oh, I wish I could do something like that someday. And I've done a little bit of CMV work, but not nearly as much as they've been able to, and it's just really great what they do. And in America, there's Kiki Kabuki, and she's changed her name recently, so let me try to make sure I'm saying it right. Futanage. She used to be called Little Bix. But yeah, she's a friend of Kiki's, and both of them used to cosplay together and do CMVs, dance videos, photo shoots, and they were both a double threat of being amazing cosplayers, especially crossplay, because I'm obsessed with that field of cosplay, and also having just amazing photography work and all that kind of stuff. And so they were huge inspirations to me, and those are kind of the big names that I really like. They are cosplayers I look up to so much.
All right.
I have a lot of other ones, but I'm going to stop there. And in South America and in no, my continent. Let's go through it.
On a small, tiny island, middle of the Pacific Ocean. I don't know any island names.
Oh, hey. A small island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, that's Hawaii, and I can tell you some cosplayers I admire in Hawaii, because that was where I went to school for 3 years.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hawaii.
Huh?
Shoutouts to Hawaii.
Yeah, shout out to Hawaii and like, oh my god, I'm blanking on your name, your cosplay name, and I know you probably don't want me to say your personal name. Sato Cosplay and Kuritsuki, that's what it is. It's not Suki something, it's Kuritsuki.
Right.
You guys are amazing. You're my cosplay friends and inspirations. I love you guys. I hope I see you at AX.
Shoutouts. I hope you
Shoutouts. They're not in RWBY though, so I don't think they'll see this.
Yeah, you know. Listen. Yeah, no, probably not. People within the RWBY fandom still don't see this show, so.
Well, within the RWBY fandom, definitely Riot and Lacee-Girl, and they are two amazing cosplayers, and I feel so awkward because, I mean, I saw your show where you interviewed Riot, and she, like, talked about me being her cosplay inspiration or, you know, like, whatever, and I was like, no, but you're mine! You're so much better than me! Stop! No!
This is a big love fest.
Yes.
This is going on.
And, I mean, Queen-Valkyrie herself is just an amazing seamstress, like... She doesn't have as many cosplay photos as I do, because she doesn't do as many of the photo shoots, but she's done so many more costumes, and she, like, does fabulous jobs on these huge ball gown dresses, and, like, all crazy stuff, and I'm just, like, blown away by what she can do, so, yeah.
Shoutouts to all of those people.
Yeah!
What's your favorite AU?
Ooh, favorite AU, that one's...
Dun dun dun.
There's so many good ones.
There really is way too many.
I used to really love Victor Mayrin's Lamentations of the Scale. It was one of the Dragon AUs that was around. Especially the art that Passive Fan did for that AU. And I'm really excited that Passive Fan kind of decided to do their own Dragon AU. And so they're still doing art for that because it's such a great artist. I absolutely love their work. But yeah, I really love that AU. Riot, of course, made me love the RWBY Rock AU, and I had so much fun when that was, you know, a big thing, just being able to be like, I have the wig for this character, I can do a RWBY Rock just using what's in my closet, This is so much fun, this is so cool, I'm gonna draw all over my body with an eyeliner pen at 3 a.m. That was so, if you've seen pictures of my Mercury RWBY Rock, I have a lot of tattoos. I did not plan on having that many tattoos. I was just going to do a few. But while I was in the bathroom drawing them on, I heard noises in the kitchen, which is away from the bathroom at my parents' house where I was staying at the time. And I was like, I do not feel like going out and explaining why I have no shirt on. There's duct tape across my body, and I've drawn all over myself with black marker. I'm just going to stay in here until I'm sure they're gone. And so I was bored, so I just kept drawing more tattoos. And after a while, I was like, I think they're gone. And so I, like, finally, you know, sneak out back up to my room to start doing photos. And now it's like 10 times more tattoos than I planned. And I'm just like, whatever.
Oh my god. I love the idea, too, that it's just like, the moment you got bored, like the moment you started drawing other tattoos, that's when they left. You just didn't notice because you were so caught up in drawing tattoos.
Probably it was like just my dog, and it was actually no one out there at all.
Dog's just chilling. Oh my god. You have fantastic stories. And what the best part is that they're cosplay related stories for the most part. So I can leave them in the actual interview and not put them in story time. Less editing for me. Yes.
Yay. Oh, yay. Hey, if you want non-cosplay stories, there's a bunch of those
really
too for story time or whatever.
Well, this is about to be 12 questions in. And speaking of 12 questions in, RWBY AU that you RWBY AU that you wish had gotten more attention. And this one is from Iron-Wang. Riot.
Well, I think that the RWBY Rock AU got plenty of attention. Loved how that one turned out. Let me see. RWBY AU that I wish had gotten more attention. my AU. No, I have never even posted anything about my.
Listen, you
AU,
can still
so
listen if you got more
obviously
attention.
could not have any attention, but yeah. Well, yes, it should have all the attention. It's not even been announced, but it should already, everyone should be hyped and ready and waiting for it. Yes. They should be like, JJo's planning something. I'm so psyched for it. Yeah, not for a while, because unfortunately I am not the greatest artist, so I'm trying to draw art for it, and I'm like, this looks like shit.
Okay.
Not really. My greatest period of artistic talent was when I was taking statistics in college. My math notebook was the most beautiful notebook. Yeah, I also managed to barely pass that class, but pay attention in class, kids. Don't be J-Jo. But if you're going to be J-Jo, at least have really pretty notebooks to show for it. But yeah, I've started getting more back into art. I actually this weekend did a thing where I was like, people, tell me what to draw. And fortunately, though, I only had a pen to draw with, so they all look like shit. Like, someone put it in the Squirtle Squad.
Oh
so
my
I drew
God.
the Squirtle Squad doing the Ginyu pose, and I was just like, someone stop me. Why are you guys encouraging this? There's only been really 2 AUs I've been sort of moderately heavily involved in, which was the Ruby Rock AU, which got lots of attention, and the Lamentation of the Scale. So I guess the Lamentation of the Scale one. Although I am very excited about an AU I saw a while back that I haven't really seen anything since, where it was a circus AU, and they had a really pretty versions of Adam and Blake and Velvet and Sun, and it was just the Faunus, and I was like, oh, I'm excited to see more from that, but I never really did.
Noxie Pep, I think? Shit.
I don't know. Velvet was like kind of
referenced this
Alice
AU
looking.
in an episode. I can't remember. I think it was Nox. Alright.
Okay. Yeah, I remembered seeing art from that and being like, I am excited for this AU, but then I never really saw much
I'm
else
fucking
from
looking
it.
this up.
A lot of AUs, like, I'll see art from it, and I'll save pictures from it to be like, I'm gonna cosplay that someday. But I don't actually know that much about the AU. I just really love the art, and I feel so bad, because I'm like, I don't know the lore. I'm such a terrible person. Like, there's several versions of Ren where it's like, that's from an AU.
I didn't link it.
It is from an AU. I don't know what AU, but it's pretty, and I'm gonna cosplay it.
I get that. Except I don't cosplay, so I get the feel of like, yeah, this AU is really awesome. I don't know anything about it. But it's pretty kick-ass. Alright, I need to... God damn it. This is going to take so long now. I didn't link it in the description of the video, and it's like, I fucked up. Like, I fucked up. I should have linked it. Why didn't I link it? Alright, this is...
Okay. I think... I found it on DeviantArt. It's by Roko Kaiser.
I don't know DeviantArt names, though. I also don't know how reliable it is that actually is the person that made it.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I did a quick Google image search. Oh yeah, because now I'm seeing another post, and it's like, Keithy.
It's gotta be Nox. It's gotta be Noxie.
Okay, yeah, I think that person was just drawing fan art from it, because I have another person who has all of it.
Oh, wait.
I don't know, though.
That went past.
With DeviantArt, it's hard to tell if someone's actually...
Yeah.
So yeah, if you are the person who made the Circus AU, you have got an amazing AU, your art is gorgeous, we would love to see more, and we're so sorry we don't remember your username.
It had to be Nox. I'm on Nox's art page. Yeah, Noxie Pep.
Noxie Pep? Yeah, okay, because I just managed to find one where it referred to Noxie Pep as the creator. So Noxie Pep, your art is awesome. I love your AU ID.
Nox,
idea.
Nox, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry that I've forgotten that you're the person who made this AU twice. I'm really, really, really sorry about that, Nox. It's when I referenced it in the Blake Belladonna episode of Fan and Interpretations. I was just like, yeah, and there's this super cool AU with Blake, and it's the Circus AU, and somebody made it. Who made it? It was, and I had to look it up again. I'm so sorry, Nox. I really love your art, and I promise I follow you on Tumblr. I like and reblog a lot. I'm sorry. All right. Next question, though.
All right.
Best experiences in the fandom.
That one's kind of a difficult one. There's been a lot of good ones. I know. Although I don't know if this counts as in the fandom, but it's RWBY related, so I'm going to say yes.
I'll be the judge. I'll veto or approve.
I premiered Lie Ren at KatsuCon 2014. And one of the things that because we had I was working with Tommy-ish cosplay and photography. Amazing cosplayer. She does this really cute Nora. And she asked me to be her Ren, and that was super exciting because it was one of the first times someone had actually contacted me being like, will you cosplay this with me? Because, again, I was a nobody before I started cosplaying Ren, so it was very exciting. We grabbed a Pyrrha and a Jean from the RWBY gathering, and we go off to do our shoot, with the full team. And I'm so sorry to the Pyrrha. I know you had a Tumblr. I cannot remember it off the top of my head, but it is all credited. If you go through my photos, there's some pictures of the full Team Juniper shoot from KatsuCon 2014, and I believe I have credited her, and I don't think the Jean had a cosplay anything, so we were just kind of have his name there. And one of the photos that I was like, okay, you know what we need to do? We need to do the Juniper landing pose. Because, this first season, Emerald Forest, They finish fighting the Deathstalker, and everyone sort of lands.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to recreate that. And so we were on the steps, and I'm laying face down on the ground. Tommy-ish is trying to balance herself, sitting like she just landed. Pyrrha's all crouched, and Jean's, stumbled, and it was a cute photo. Yeah. And Monty shared it on his Facebook page. Ooh. And we all, were super excited, because, it's the creator, and he thought it was funny and cute that we did that, and I was like, oh my god, that's so exciting. Another really big moment for me was one of my actual, nice shoot photos, so I'm not laying face down in the dirt. One of my Lie Ren posts is, I think, actually the photo that you're using in the background for this interview. Sheena shared it on her Facebook page, and she, I can almost remember this word for word, and is like, can we just talk about this Lie Ren cosplayer I've been seeing? And then it's asterisk, strokes, screen, and I'm like, oh my god, Sheena Duquette, which I didn't even know at the time she was married to Monty. I just really respected her as a cosplayer, because she's amazing. And to have her, be like, look at this hot Lie Ren cosplayer. Oh my god, that's me. I'm not a hot oh my god, someone thinks I'm hot. Someone who's actually attractive thinks I'm attractive. Hey. Oh my god. So yeah, I freaked out for a good bit on that, and that was a high point. So yeah,
that's pretty fantastic.
Yes.
Also, do you mean the one I'm using for the icon, or the one that's in the corners?
The one in the icon, the middle.
Got it.
Yeah.
You're like, the one you're using for the background, and I'm like,
you have two.
Which one?
No, it was not the food fight one. As much fun as that cosplay was.
Yeah, that one looks like it was a lot of fun. I had 8 different... Damn it. I had 7 different Rens. Wait. I guess technically 6, huh? Because that was the icon that was used.
Yeah.
I had a lot of different Rens
to choose
from. So I went with the... what are those things called that he used to fight?
Leaks.
Thank you. I was going to call them leads. I knew that wasn't right. And I was going to call them reeds. And I also knew that wasn't right.
That's close.
Far-fetched
yeah.
confirmed.
That was actually really interesting because, again, we did this group with Queen-Valkyrie and the Pompous Pickle as Pyrrha and Nora. And
Pompous Pickle.
oh yeah, she's a big deal.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Did you just
she is.
You're off the show.
No, that's her, not me. She's the one. She's actually an amazing cosplayer. I would totally recommend checking her out. She doesn't do as much RWBY anymore, but she's done some versions of Pyrrha. She's done Jean. Like, I have some shots of me as Lie Ren with a Jean in a field. That's the Pompous Pickle. She's absolutely wonderful. I'm so sorry I broke your Jean armor using my Blitz ball. And she's, like, absolutely amazing and really fun to be around. And she loves making puns, which is why I'm so happy that she recently did Yang, because she is so Yang. Like, she's like Team Mom, Party Girl, Pun Master. It's like you are real life Yang. I'm so glad you actually cosplayed that. So yeah, she has that and a whole bunch of like other things. Like if you like Metal Gear Solid, you're gonna love her cosplays. But yeah, she's absolutely wonderful to be around. But we did the food fight group together, the three of us, and we brought a whole bunch of paints and we lay out a tarp and everyone else lays their costumes down. And I get in mine. And I just lay down and I'm like, okay, do it. And so they're like, God fucking damn it, J-Jo. No, you could just, no, I want to have it on me to look better that way. And, yeah, so I was definitely wearing the costume while they were flicking paint at me.
Wow.
But yeah. And if you ever pay close attention to that costume, Queen-Valkyrie, who's of course the Nora, drew a big pink heart on my butt. You can't really see it unless you ask me to show it because it's like the coat covers up my butt. But yeah, if I just pull that up, you can see on my pants, nice little heart right there, sort of like a property of Nora. Yeah.
Throwback. Oh wow, that's beautiful. That is that's. I was wondering about how you got all this stuff on the.
Yeah,
on the
I mean,
costumes.
pretty much we just were like, we took some paintbrushes, we got a bunch of paint on it, and we just flicked it at the costumes. And actually, some of the paint is glow-in-the-dark paint. Like, I brought a whole bunch of glow-in-the-dark paint for this, and unfortunately, you need the glow-in-the-dark paint to be really thickly applied for it to really work. But I'd done that with my costume and with Queen-Valkyrie's. We'd really gone crazy with the glow-in-the-dark paint. So at Anime USA, when we premiered these costumes, we were both like, oh, let's check to see if it worked out. And so we go into the bathroom together, turn off the lights, and if anyone else had been in that room, they would have just heard a bunch of unholy noises as we were like, oh my god, look at me glowing, and a bunch of that. And so then, no one was in the room though. So then someone comes back. And so the two of us, in the bathroom, with no lights on, open the door, because we heard the other door opening, and we're like, come into the bathroom with us! And we drag our roommates into the bathroom to be like, look at us glowing! Oh my god, we're so cute! So yeah.
Alright, I have to know now. The heart.
It is not.
Is that glow in the dark?
I'm not. I think we mixed in the pink paint with the pink glow in the dark, but it didn't really, like, the glow in the dark kind of got washed out by the actual pink paint, because the glow in the darks are all sort of pastels and they don't show up very well. In fact, when I was going a bit crazy with the glow in the dark paint, the Pompous Pickle and Queen-Valkyrie were like, J-Jo, stop it! That does not look like glow-in-the-dark paint! That looks like bodily substances that you do not want all over your costume! It's this white, creamy goo, and I'm just like, you're right. Proceeds to put on more.
Alright, confirmation. It only works when we're telling you to do something. That's
Unfortunately,
fantastic.
the heart does not glow very much.
By the way, That's the unfortunate. That is really unfortunate.
Oh yeah, it would have been
really
amazing, but the glow-in-the-dark
alas.
pink was super pale and it barely showed up, so we were like, let's mix it with the regular pink paint, but that seemed to wash all the glow-in-the-dark properties out, so it doesn't glow.
Aside from cosplay, is there any other medium you express your creativity in?
I do a minimal of arting. Yes, I arting.
I art good.
I art. Yes. No, I art terrible. But I do a little bit of drawing. I've done very, very little RWBY fan art. I drew some fan art of a harpy Nora with a Naga Lie Ren, but that was like ages ago. I don't really do much fan art because I know I'm not the best artist and I have no idea how to ink. I one time did art of like super fancy Jean, like really fancy, because I remember I was like so excited for the dance episode, and then because I was like, oh my god, there's gonna be dresses and fun stuff that I can cosplay. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this. And then I remembered guys only wear tuxes, and I was like, this is gonna be so boring. And I was like, I'm gonna come up with fancy clothes that I would want to cosplay. And this is actually how my AU was born, because my AU is kind of like masquerade themed, so it's a whole bunch of everyone just wearing these super fancy, sort of avant-garde kind of outfits, and that's why I'm like, I have to draw this. I can't just write it. I have to draw this, because these outfits are 50% of the AU. But yeah, so I drew Jean being really fancy clothes, and then I was like, alright, I really love how this art turned out. I don't have a tablet, and I suck at inking things in person, like on, actually with a pen, because I can never stay in the lines. I'm going to ink it on paint using my trackpad. That was the first and last time I inked one of my art. My finger hurt for like 2 days after that, because then I managed to do it all using the trackpad and the paint program, and then I colored it, and then I tried shading it, and then I gave up, and I was like, here, it doesn't have shading, but it looks decent. And so I do a little bit of art. I want to try to get more into the art, because I want to get my AU out there at some point, because I'm like, I want people to see these outfits, and then I want to cosplay these outfits, because they're all pretty. But yeah, and I also do write, but I do not write fan fiction or stuff like that. Everything I write is original stories, and I do have like a little side blog which has my writing in it. No one go check that out. It's awful. It's
What's
terrible.
the name of the blog?
I think it's J-Jo Writes. I haven't updated it in a long time. Okay. But
let's just
yeah,
assume.
so I it's not at all RWBY related. It's not fandom. It's just original stuff I write, because I have been off and on writing since middle school, and so I really enjoy writing stories and coming up with stuff like that.
All right. What's your favorite cosplay, excluding your own?
Okay, so is it like favorite cosplayer's costume?
This question is fairly open-ended. It can be like, yeah, let's go with just costume, like just like strictly like one person's costume.
Oh gosh, this is like back to the cosplay idol question.
Yeah. Oh, keeping this one within fandom, by the way.
Within fandom, that helps. That helps a whole lot.
You're welcome.
There's still so many good ones. There are so many great cosplayers. I'm going to say... Why you ask so hard questions?
We haven't even gotten into like the ones that normally trip people up.
Oh god. Oh gosh. I know there was cosplays where I'm just like, hot damn. Lacee-Girl's Emerald. Really just like I I'm blown away by it. It's such a great job. Like, all of her costumes and all of Riot's. Like, I've mentioned these two before, and I will mention them over and over again, but they have, like, amazing costumes. And I really love Lacee-Girl. It's actually really funny, because she's from Hawaii. While I was in Hawaii, she was going to school on the East Coast, which is where I'm from. And so we both have friends in Hawaii, and there was one time where she posted a picture of my friend, who posted a picture of me, and I was like, I need to post a picture of Lacey to complete the triangle. And so yeah, I really love her Emerald cosplay. It's so gorgeous. Her Weiss cosplays and her Pura cosplay, oh my gosh, they're all gorgeous, but I really love her Emerald. She did such a great job with it. I was really happy to be able to see it in person this Katsucon, and hopefully I will be able to be Mercury to her Emerald at RTX this year.
What's your favorite cosplay you did from Lacee-Girl? And also, to a similar note, just going to toss it in there, out of all the costumes you've made, which are you happiest with from Andoberry?
Okay. Favorite cosplay?
You did.
If it's to wear, I have to kind of admit, it's probably one of my really crazy psycho characters, because I love the zany characters. I've done Kamui from D. Gray Man, TK from Angel Beats, and they're just on crack all the time. And so, like, I mean, if you've ever seen Angel Beats, TK in the Japanese of Angel Beats, like, don't watch the English dub, oh god, but the Japanese dub of Angel Beats, he only speaks English, and he speaks it terribly. Like, one of his lines is, I kiss you, and he says it with a really serious voice as he shoots enemies, and, like, oh my god, I used to have these all memorized. Crazy up, trouble down. Don't stop dancing. Moonwalk, head spin. And these are his lines. These are like all of his lines. I'll be back. And this is the Japanese dub. So he goes around dancing, like doing Michael Jackson moves and moonwalks and head spins and talking in English. And that's just TK. That is all we kind of know about him. And so it's so much fun to do that costume at a con, because I just go around saying complete nonsense and doing whatever I want, and everyone loves it. So that's one of my favorite costumes to wear. It's not one of my favorite costumes I've made to hook into Andoberries. One of probably my favorite costumes I've ever made was probably Inu no Taisho from Inuyasha, because, first of all, he has 5 fucking minutes of screen time in his human form. Like, how many volumes Inuyasha is? And the movies, yeah, it's just the third movie, first 5 minutes of the film, we get a little bit of screen time where him in his human form, and I had to take that. And by the way, he got shot full of arrows that then proceeded to move about his body every other scene. So I was like, where's the consistency? But it was a costume where I really pushed my craftsmanship. I like it because it was armor working, it was faux fur, it was clothes, it was wigs, it was the full shebang of having all these different elements, and it was a very big costume. I literally had 2 body pillows hanging from my back in that costume. I could not walk without someone picking up my costume and walking behind me. It was a crazy costume, and it was just the one where it was kind of like, look at how far I've come from last time I cosplayed Inuyasha, which was that Sango costume thrown together in a week because I thought it was required wear.
They wouldn't let you bring the boomerang.
It was the only part of the costume I was proud of.
That's really sad.
I know. But yeah, so it was kind of my my real I went back to my roots of my first anime, and I picked a costume that had a really high level of difficulty, and I pushed myself to do it, and it turned out really great. I actually joined a competition for craftsmanship, and I won unopposed in that costume.
Get destroyed, Air.
Yeah. So it's the costume out of all the costumes I've made, I am the most proud of, because it was like a sort of real, it wasn't just a costume, it was like a real tribute to, like, I have come far. I have gone from being a person who had no idea what she was doing to being someone who can make this, being someone who, like, can pose like this, from being told, could you actually, have an expression on your face? So it means a lot to me as a costume.
Yeah.
And I like to use it as an example of, if you are a starting cosplayer and you feel like, you don't know how to do anything, you'll never be able to succeed, just keep going at it, because eventually, you keep, it took years for me to get to that point, but you'll get there if you just keep going at it, and you'll improve, and it'll be amazing, and you'll look back and you'll be like, I can't believe how far I've gotten.
All right. I'm going to real quick, though. What about within fandom?
Within fandom. Yeah. Oh, boy.
That is, the name of the show.
Yeah, I feel bad. I keep going out of fandom.
And I'm just sitting here like, I understand all of these
I am
words.
So sorry.
I don't want anything.
But yeah, it's probably Lie Ren, in his battle outfit. Because that was another one where I was doing a lot of stuff for the first time, and it turned out really good, and people really like it, and that makes me happy, because I love it when, like, if at a con you seeing me makes you happy, I am 10 times as happy because I've been able to make you happy. So having so many people like my Lie Ren costume makes me love that costume even more. And it's definitely not Ozpin, because that costume was a bitch and a half. Like, do not even get me started on that fucking cane. First of all, no, I'm not, really, don't get me started on it.
Well, for what it's worth, it came out good.
I'm very happy with it. Yeah. It was a bitch, but I'm like, it looks good. That's all that matters.
It was a bitch, but at least it's a good looking bitch. Yeah.
5 foot rule. Which the 5 foot rule in cosplay is, if it looks good from 5 feet away, you're good. Okay. It is a rule I rely on heavily.
Didn't know what that rule meant.
Yeah. It's, I don't know if it's widely known, but all of my cosplayer friends will be like, 5 foot rule, it'll be fine.
All right. Real quick, though, I'm going to run to the bathroom real fast.
All right, yeah.
So I'll be right back.
I guess I will just, sit here and talk with you guys. Only not with you guys, because, this is pre-recorded, but, Again, apology that, not everything I do is very RWBY related. I do a lot of other costumes, but I really do love RWBY, and I want to do lots of RWBY stuff. Like, here, I can talk about some of the AUs, and costumes I have planned out, and if I can just do some shout-outs to some artists whose designs I am actually working on, I swear. I know it's been a long time, but I'm working on it. Little Conan, you designed an outfit that was a Nora-inspired formal Ren.
Hardest thing to cosplay and easiest from Iron-Wang, again.
Oof, hardest thing to cosplay. Really cute, pretty little girls. Because, one, I am tall, I'm 5'7", so, that already sort of sets things weird, and then I, don't really have a girlish figure. There's very few girls who really work with my complete flatness. So that can become a thing. And then I have a longer face, which I love because it makes doing guy cosplays easier because, you know, usually you associate guys with the longer, more narrow face, girls with the round, cute faces. So when I'm cosplaying a girl with a round, cute face, I look a little bit like a transvestite.
It's very...
And so for me, that is the hardest thing, which is probably why there will not be too many female cosplays from RWBY in the future, but there is actually some loose hypothetical plans in the future for me to be doing some RWBY ladies in the future.
Loose hypothetical
first Mercury,
plans.
gotta get Mercury done.
Sounds like it's set in stone to me.
Yes.
It's gonna happen.
I know, right? I already bought the wig. I mean, what? No, I'm not spending my money foolishly.
Same.
Oh yeah, easiest thing to cosplay. Old dudes. Well, I don't know if easiest is the right word so much as most fun. Because when you're doing an older man, you get to play around with your makeup so much more. Like, with Ozpin, not so much, because Ozpin's super pretty. Okay, no, he is. He is very pretty. He's an attractive, middle-aged man.
I mean, you really think he's just middle-aged? He has a cane and his hair is silver.
Have you seen that smooth, unwrinkled face?
He just takes Botox.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that could be it. Well, he's an attractive elder man. So with him, it's not so much, but like with some of the other characters I've cosplayed in other series, where I'm playing characters who are specifically drawn to be not attractive, it gets to be so much fun because I get to like extreme contouring, give myself a 5 o'clock shadow, make myself have really angry Neanderthal brow ridges stuff, and like it's you get to play around a lot more with the makeup than when you're doing pretty characters, because when you do pretty characters, you have very certain things you gotta do, and that's fun too, and you can play around with that, but older characters, so much more like experimentation you get to play around with.
When your response to easiest was older characters, and like I'm gonna like rewind to like 20 minutes ago when you're just talking about Ozpin and saying not to get me started on him.
Okay, makeup-wise, Ozpin wasn't that bad. It's his cane and his jacket that were like, oh my god. It was...
Well, it's not really an ascot. It's kind of like a scarf.
That actually was super easy for me because I always felt that his scarf was a part of his shirt. It was a sweater with a cowl neckline. So I found one. And it was the last one I've ever been able to find, because I've had other Ozpins, like, I've tried to, like, find it for them to show them what I used, and I've never been able to find it since, and I feel so bad about it, but I have, like, this beautiful, like, I mean, you've seen the costume, it's in the corners, it's this, cowl sweater that just works so well for Ozpin, because I just, like, you know, put a safety pin in the back of the sweater to keep it standing up like that rather than drooping down like a cowl usually will. So that part was super easy. I found that on eBay and I was like, I'm getting that. I don't need to make something if I can buy it for like $5. Another cosplayer tip from EJ or J-Jo.
Whoever you are.
If you can... Yeah. Who am I? Yes. So if you don't, like, I mean, if you want to make it, mad props to you. But if you feel like you could buy it for cheaper than you could make it, there's nothing wrong with buying it. But yeah, so, like, the only thing with Ozpin's actual outfit I made, clothing-wise, was the jacket, which was the first time I ever made a blazer, and, God, Western clothing is a pain. I like Japanese clothing much more because it's, like, rectangles. But yeah, so that was a pain, and then his cane was, and don't get me started on the beacon mugs. They're cursed, okay? Every single time I'm in Ozpin, 5 minutes. Literally, I've timed this. 5 minutes before the shoot starts, the mug drops and breaks.
Wow.
And so I have 3 broken beacon mugs. 2 backup beacon mugs, and then 1 beacon mug, which was actually a gift to Panda Cosplay. but I handed it to him right before he went to RTX last year. And so he comes back, because RTX last year was actually sort of close to my birthday, too. And he's like, I got you your birthday gift. He hands me back the mug I gave him just, a weekend ago. And it's signed by Shannon McCormick. Wow. And I'm like, way to go and show me up with my own gift. You dick.
I thought that was going in a completely different direction. I thought you were going to say he handed you the mug and it broke.
No, I keep that in a very safe place now. But yeah, so I was like, wow, now I just feel pathetic.
Oh, wow.
You not only did you regift my gift, but you regifted it back to me 1,000,000 times better. But yeah, so I have like 5 or 6 Beacon mugs because they keep breaking, and I'm just so miffed at them. That's actually why, if you look very closely in the photo, in the corner, I'm holding the mug backwards. Like, normally you would be holding it by the handle, but I'm holding it so the handle's pointed away from my hand, because the other side is all broken to shit.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right.
So, yeah, luckily no one really notices it unless I point it out. But yeah, in all of my photos of Ozpin, the mug is on the mug handle's on the wrong side, because it always breaks that way. And I'm like, every single fucking time, you have to break on the side I need to stay nice.
Wow, that is remarkable.
Ozpin is a cursed costume.
It's a cursed costume. You heard it here first, folks. Don't cosplay
I have made
Ozpin.
more mistakes than any man, woman, or child while making this costume. But god damn it, am I gonna wear it?
Oh, that was a perfect quote. 10 points.
Yeah.
10 points to whatever your house is. What is your personal favorite part about your cosplays?
Personal favorite part about my costumes? No. I have to say that probably one of the parts I like the most is when I get to do makeup. I really love doing makeup, and I know that's kind of a boring answer, but that's partly because when you're a cosplayer and you make your costume, you know every single thing wrong with the costume that no one else knows and no one else can see, but you know it. So, like, I think of a costume and I think of how, oh god, that looks like shit if you flip it inside out.
Yeah, because clothing looks great when you flip it inside out.
Yeah, so, yeah, I have a hard time loving my own costumes because I'm like, and that's fraying, and I didn't hem that, and there's a burn there, and that's where the blood stain is, and...
That stitch is 2 centimeters to the left.
Oh, yeah, no, don't get me started on that, the arch in Lie Ren's back. Because if you look very closely, he has a seam that goes across his back in an arch. And a lot of times I obsessed over the stitching of Lie Ren's costume. Like, it was, the one you see in photos is the 3rd one I made. Holy. Because he does not have seams. Like, he has very distinctly shown seams, but they aren't where seams need to be. And I tried to make it that way by having the seams, like, it's not be where they need to be and be only where they're shown. And it does not work. Take it from me, people. It does not work. So I had to finally give in and put the seams where they had to be rather than try to make some horrible monster of a costume that does not look right but works with how Monty designed the seams. So yeah, so I know all of that sort of stuff, so I have a hard time loving my costumes because I'm like, no, they're terrible, don't look at me. 5-foot rule, stay 5 feet away from me at all times.
Are you surprised by the success of your cosplays?
Yes, and to a slight degree, no. Because like I said before, I'm really the only one who puts out a lot of Lie Ren cosplays. Like, I can only think of a few other Lie Ren cosplayers who do, like, you know, photo shoots, and they don't really do the stuff on Tumblr like I do with the GIF asks and all the different versions. So, because I kind of am unopposed as the Lie Ren cosplayer, I'm not surprised that I became the Lie Ren cosplayer of a sorts. But at the same time, yes, I am always super, super startled when people are like, oh, I love J-Jocosplay. Oh, I know J-Jocosplay. Oh, J-Jocosplay is my cosplay idol. And I'm just like, what the fuck? No, why? Wow! Yes. So that, yeah. Being known because of my Lie Ren cosplays, not so much. Being liked because of my cosplays, oh my god, yes, startled to hell.
That's fair. How often do you encounter creativity block or general lack of motivation, and how do you manage to overcome it and continue creating such great pieces?
Oh my gosh, can all the time be my answer?
I mean, it can.
Yeah, I mean, you know, depending on stuff with real life, you know, you'll get down and you don't want to work on stuff, and then sometimes it's just, you don't want to work on stuff because you're lazy, and sometimes it's just, oh, it's like a month until the con. I'll be fine if I don't work on my costume today. And usually what gets me motivated is a deadline. It'll be like, oh god, the convention's tomorrow. Fuck. And I've definitely made some costumes in the hotel room. Like one of my costumes at Otakon last year? I don't know. I started on it Friday at the con. I was wearing it Saturday. I managed to finish, thank God. So yeah, a due date is usually what really gets me off my ass and gets me to finish my costume. Sometimes, though, it'll be just, I'm in the mood to make something, and I will actually, you know, start doing stuff, which is what I should probably do more often. Otherwise, I have a very, very specific anime series that when I put it on, I work on cosplay because it just gets me, you know, upbeat and positive, and it's what I always sort of have on in the background when I'm working on cosplay, so I just subconsciously associate it with getting work done. And that's Bakano, really great anime if you're gonna watch an anime, only 16 episodes. But yeah, so I also putting on RWBY sometimes because, you know, it's pretty much, if it's an anime that has a decent English dub, I like to put it on in the background so I don't have to, you know, watch subtitles while I sew. Yeah. You know, great way to lose a finger or something. Not really. A sewing machine's not going to take out a finger.
Yeah,
You're just
I was going to say, great way to further attach your finger.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I just, if you're going to be working with machinery, do not be reading subtitles.
Yay, God.
Yeah, so I'll just have something on, and I'll just sort of, you know, work on cosplay while I'm doing that, and I have a few series that especially, you know, I associate with getting work done, and it's Bakano, RWBY, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Also a great score for RWBY.
Yes,
so
yes, so listening to RWBY is always great.
It's like, I'm gonna go punch somebody.
As soon as I finish this, you know, sleeve, so I can actually move my arm.
Yeah. Or it is, I'm going to curl up into a ball and cry, because why are you doing this, Jeff? Jeff, please.
Oh.
What do you do to get ready to cosplay? This can be like making costume or like actually like going there. Whether or not it's finding a towel or...
Well, usually it starts with the planning phase where I like actually start drawing the outfit. Like I just, you know, get as many screenshots as possible, and I try to draw and figure out how everything sort of fits on the character and goes together. Then after that, it becomes calculating the materials, calculating how much that's probably going to cost, going out and finding where I want to get stuff. Because, I mean, when I go shopping, I go to the place where I'm going to shop, whether it's an internet store or a real one. I look for the things I want. I find them. I write down how much they cost. I leave. And maybe like 2 weeks later, I'll come back and buy them after I've exhausted, you know, all the other options, or I've thought, you know, whether or not I really want that, or if I want to wait for something else and stuff like that. So a lot of my cosplay shopping process is taking time to think slowly about, you know, what I want to get, whether or not this is exactly what I want for this project. More immediate, like when it gets to the point where actually I'm going to wear the costume, I try to, like, you know, keep my skin nice and healthy. Mixed results. You know, like, I usually, like, get my eyebrows super, super, super thin, so that way I don't have to work too hard to cover them up, because, you know, different characters, different eyebrow shapes. You know, just sort of, like, get my body in optimal-ish condition.
Is your body ready?
Yeah. Usually the answer is no, but I'm like, too bad. So, yeah, and then yeah, that's... Gosh, yeah, I have definitely a lot of times where I'm like, my body was not ready, but I did it anyway. Why?
I will regret this, but...
Oh god, no, you don't know real pain until you're pulling duct tape off your nipples. Which, let me just make this disclaimer, because I feel like I need to. You should not bind with duct tape. I have heard from a source I trust that if you bind with duct tape, there is a potential for the duct tape adhesive, when mixed with sweat, to cause nastiness on your skin that is going to hurt and be awful. I don't know the science behind it. It was told to me like a year ago, and I'm trying to, like, summarize my words.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it unless you're stupid like me.
What are your general thoughts on your cosplay?
My general thoughts on my cosplay is I need to keep improving. Like I said, I know everything that's wrong with my costumes. And so, for me, I'll finish a costume and I'll be really happy, and when I see it in the photos, I'm like, oh man, I look so great, I can't believe that's me in these photos. But at the same time, I'll be like, but I could have done this better, and I could have done this better, and I should have done this better. And so my general thought is I need to just keep working at it, keep getting better, keep going and trying to, like, hit, you know, the really, really crazy dream cosplays I have on the list, which are, like, real... I can't even imagine how I would begin to build those at the moment. But yeah, so that's generally what I think of my cosplays.
All right. I can say from an outside, uneducated standpoint, they all look great.
Thank you.
I don't know anything about costume working except for what I watch on Project Runway.
Well, it means a lot to hear that.
Yeah. Dude, Project Runway enthusiast.
Nice.
Well, I was for a while, not so much anymore, but good show.
I guess it could be summed up with, I'm going to take everything, like, in a sad way, keep moving forward. So that's kind of how I feel about my costumes, to just keep moving forward. Happy birthday, Monty Ohm.
Happy birthday, Monty Ohm, yeah. At the time of this recording, it is the 22nd of June.
We miss you.
So. Do you think cosplay gets easier with time, or now that you're more experienced, do you find it harder to cosplay than when you were younger and didn't know as much?
That's a really good question, actually.
I didn't make it originally, I'm going to be honest.
I mean, it definitely gets easier because you start to learn how to do things, and once you get started, like, the hardest part is probably getting started. Once you have gotten a start, you begin to sort of learn how to do things, or you begin to, like, be able to think of, oh, well, if I do this way, then I can do that by adjusting this to be that. And so that's kind of at least how I work as a cosplayer, because I'm self-taught. I have a little instruction from my friends, and then it was kind of like internet tutorials and experimentation. That's mostly how I learned how to cosplay. And so it does get a bit easier because you learn more, and the more you know, the more options you have, and the more you can think of different things. But at the same time, it also does get harder because you get harder on yourself once you're no longer really, like, a beginner, because you're like, oh, I know I can do better, so I'm going to push myself harder. Or at least that's how I do it, because that's my personality. So I'm like, I could do this the really easy, lazy way, but I shouldn't. I should force myself to do this because I am better than, like, you know, I am not the me from a year ago who didn't know how to hem a seam. I can do this. I hate hemming, but I'm going to do it because I know I should, and I know how. And so, yeah, I think it does get easier, but but depending on, your personality, you also start to push yourself harder.
Good answer to the question. Is it intimidating to look at your own work with increasingly critical and knowledgeable eyes, or is it inspiring to see how far you've come from when you first started out?
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
Like I said before with that Inuno Taisho cosplay, it was kind of my being like, look how far I've come. Crazy armor and all this stuff and all that kind of things. I have improved a lot.
Didn't get confiscated.
Yeah, I know. I made my weapons and they passed con regulations. I've learned so much. It's only been 5 years. But yeah, I definitely feel like looking back, it's both cringeworthy and yet at the same time inspirational, because I'm like, if I look at that Sango picture, I'm like, oh God, why? No, why are there pictures of this? They should not be here. Oh God, get it off the internet.
Burn.
Yes.
Burn it.
But at the same time, I then like look at newer costumes and I'm like, look how much I've improved. And then I look at, the newest stuff and I'm like, I'm getting there. I'm getting to be better with each costume, and that's awesome. But it still sucks, so keep working at it. You do not get a break yet. You gotta keep working at it.
What have you learned from your cosplay?
I have learned a lot. Like, I mean, I've learned craftsmanship-wise a lot of things, which I then can apply to even, like, my normal life, because I've had people come up and be like, oh, man, I got this hole in my pants, and I'm like, oh, here, give them to me. I'll fix them in, like, 2 seconds. And so that's cool. Like, I am more competent as a person because of cosplay. I know how to do things. I know how to fix things. I know how to make things. And
cool.
It all relates back to cosplay, but sometimes it also does leak into my real life. And that's really amazing when it does, because I feel more accomplished. And, mentally, emotionally wise, I've grown a lot because of cosplay. Like, I've learned to really accept myself and my looks. Because when I started cosplaying, on a good day, I thought I looked plain, and I was super happy. I did not think I was attractive. I was fairly sure I was ugly. I hated to smile. I thought my smile was the worst thing in the world. I didn't let people take photos. The last photo of me that was not ordered for me to sit still and take that photo was when my uncle paid me $10 to let me take his photo when I was 6. After that, it was all people had to order me to sit there to get my photo taken, and I would refuse to smile because I always hated my smile, and I got braces and I made it all worse, and I was like, I'm not attractive. I should not be in photos. I do not want people taking photos of me because I don't like looking at how unattractive I am. In fact, my roommate has some interesting photos where they were trying to physically force me down to take photos, and it looks like they're trying to rape me. And so yeah, it's provided some interesting moments. But when I started cosplaying and I started posing and doing the makeup stuff and dressing up and all that kind of stuff, it really did allow me to feel I look good. I look attractive. People like how I look. I like how I look. I have so much more confidence and positive feelings towards myself as a person simply because of cosplay. And I also am so much more social of a person. Like, I was the quietest, like, absolute introvert, always with my book, or with my nose in a book, like, in the corner, never talked with anyone. And cosplay taught me to, like, come out of my shell and talk with people, and people are amazing, and I love getting able to meet all these people that I've met through cosplay. And I mean, yeah, sure, sometimes there are moments where, you'll find a creep or something like that, and it happens, and that sucks, but I've also met so many amazing people. So as a person, cosplay has taught me to love myself and to love people around me, and not just be the extremely pessimistic, introverted person I was during high school and middle school.
All right.
Yeah.
That was a great story. How do you manage your time?
Poorly.
Okay. The ever so popular answer for that question.
I'll try to schedule out, it'll take me about, 2 hours to work on this. Normally, I'm being way too optimistic about that because I'm not taking into account all the times I'm going to fuck up and have to redo it. And so, yeah, I'm a terrible procrastinator, so I'm like, oh, I'll have plenty of time to work on this. Oh shit, it's tomorrow. So yeah, I have to say poorly.
That is the ever so popular answer to
it's very widespread in the cosplay community.
In every community, it seems I've gotten.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the same answer that I've gotten like the past 5 times. Actually, I think Soulfire said, I don't. I think that is... I think that was Soulfire. Somebody said it, at least. I believe it was Sonya, though.
What's worse is when I'm actually at cons, because I'm terrible for overbooking myself. And so I'll be running to and from without, like, a moment's break while I'm at the con. And so by the time the con is over, I'm just, like, completely done because I'm like, I did like, 5 shoots, 6 gatherings, and I met up with 3 friends who I haven't seen in a while, and then I went to 2 panels, and I'm like, I didn't even know, like, can I get a time turner? Drop those Harry Potter references.
Hey, shout out to Hermione. If you could work... Oh, this is one of my favorite questions. 3rd favorite question.
Oh, gosh.
If you could work on a cosplay with any other cosplayer, who would it be with and why? 2 stipulations to this. 1 in fandom and 1 out of fandom. And you must have not worked with them previously.
That one's actually kind of easy for me.
Damn it.
Because, I would love to work with Lacee-Girl. Like, I am so excited that we're actually probably going to be able to cosplay together at RTX because, it's ever since I, like, saw her Pyrrha and then her, Emerald, I was like, oh my gosh, I really would love to work with her. She's so beautiful. Her costumes are great. I would love it so much. Another great cosplayer I'd love to work with is Lawful Good Cosplay. She's an amazing Pyrrha. She is just absolutely great. She was one of the first Pyrrhas I noticed with a really great pumpkin Pete's box. So I love her cosplay. And, of course, Riot, because Riot is just amazing. Yeah. Like, her and Cleo blow me away. So, yeah, Cleo Adams and Iron-Wang. Big time would love to work with them. And then, of course, either as photographer or as cosplayer, Soulfire Photography. I feel bad because I'm, like, mentioning people who have all either been on your show before or, like, yeah.
To be fair, Lacee-Girl and Cleo haven't. And nor has Lawful, what was it?
Lawful Good.
Lawful Good Cosplay, thank you.
Let me double check that, because, yeah, Lawful Good Cosplay, she has a Pyrrha roleplay-esque account on Tumblr. Let me try to find that.
I feel bad for not knowing who this person is.
She doesn't post a lot, but she is an amazing cosplayer. Like, she doesn't have... What was your Tumblr username? Okay, yeah, her Tumblr is Perfectly Pyrrha. Oh
shit, I do know who that is.
Okay, yeah, her Facebook page for her cosplays is Lawful Good Cosplay, which I'm more familiar with that. And I love her cosplay. She's such an amazing cosplayer.
Perfectly Pyrrha is the one who made Captain Canada.
Oh my god.
The drawing for Captain Canada.
Oh my god, I did not realize that. Aww.
Yeah. Okay, so I do know who that is. And I do know that she cosplays Pyrrha as well.
She's amazing.
All good. Photographers that you'd want to work with from Lacee-Girl.
Okay, well, I mean, obviously Soulfire.
Yeah. Oh, wait, out of fandom. Wait, backtracking. Out of fandom. You never answered out of fandom.
Out of fandom cosplayers I would like to work with. Oh god. See, out of fandom, the cosplayers I like are so intimidating that I could never bring myself to ask them.
Okay, well, this is hypotheticals. Don't worry.
Okay, hypotheticals. It's probably a lot of the people who I had mentioned before as my cosplay idols, like Kiki Kabuki,
Okay.
Zimiel, yeah. Nanjo Koji would be way too intimidating. I think I would just faint. There's so many, oh my god, absolute hypotheticals, because it could never ever actually happen. Renka, she's like the most amazing Japanese cross player ever. She's so good. Usually, like, she does, oh shit, she's so good. But yeah, okay, so absolute hypothetical, her definitely. I would pretty much disintegrate out of, like, her sheer awesomeness if I was ever in her presence, but I would love to shoot with her.
All right. So back to the question that I started and then stopped. Photographers that you'd want to work with from Lacee-Girl.
Soulfire photography, definitely. Other than that, I can't really think of any off the top of my head other than people who I have worked with before and would love to continue working with, like Sarairo, Days. She does a really cute RWBY cosplay, and she's an amazing photographer. Tommy-ish, who, like I said before, was one of the first cosplayers I did Nora and Ren with, and she's also an amazing photographer. HS Media, my friend, who I've worked with before, and I love her style. So, yeah, there's so many of them, and I couldn't even begin to list them all.
Very, very important question to the list. Pancakes or waffles?
Ooh, okay, see, this is another one where I'm like, people are gonna kill me. I actually prefer waffles.
I think you're the second person to say that.
I actually have a GIF I did one point where I was doing Lie Ren GIFs, and I mean, Lie Ren, pancakes, they always go together.
Yeah.
But I'd made myself some waffles, and then I just, like, had the random idea to record this, and so I, like, have me looking back and forth and then biting into my waffles all happy, and, like, the caption was like, Ren-kun is cheating on Pancake-chan with waffle. I was like, this is dumb. I love it.
So dumb. I remember that picture, though. Oh, my God. Next question.
All right.
And this is by far my favorite question.
Oh, boy.
This is the one that flustered Riot.
Oh, gosh.
I'm removing cosplay, and I'm also going to take away Lie Ren for this.
Okay.
As your options. What is the... I almost asked the wrong question. What do you think your reputation is within the fandom?
My reputation...
Removing cosplay and removing Ren. What do you think?
Non-existent. I mean, I'm J-Jocosplay. You remove cosplay, and you kind of don't. I don't even have a blog.
Well, you have to J-Jo.
Yeah, I have a J-Jo.
3 letters and a hyphen.
Yeah, you can make a career with that.
Well, I mean, you can.
Yeah.
Dude, Prince made a career with just a symbol.
This is true. But yeah, I would have to say that without my Ren cosplay, my reputation is, or any of my RWBY or any cosplay, without any cosplay, my reputation is probably just that person who's friends with other talented people.
Right.
Like,
That's
Queen-Valkyrie and all of them.
Last 2 questions. What is the question you get asked the most?
How did you make your Lie Ren top? Which I'm just going to go ahead and answer right now.
You had an actual answer to that question almost immediately. That's the first.
That's because that's how many times I've been asked that question.
Wow.
A lot of people ask me, like, what pattern I used or how I made it. Unfortunately, while I did experiment with patterns, nothing I found really did work for how Ren's top went. And so what I did was I just kind of took fabric, put it on my dress form, and like, I actually showed my roommate this when I moved in, because we did that quite recently. I still have my mock-up from when I did Lie Ren, and there's writing all over it, being like, add inch here, symmetrize everything, because symmetrize is a word.
Yeah.
And it's
100%.
like, make this better, just better. And so, yeah, it's got writing all over it, where I just was, like, pinning and cutting and doing all sorts of crazy stuff to get it into that shape, and there are issues with that because I suck at armholes. Armholes and sleeves are my nemesis in cosplay. I really, really get frustrated working on them. I've been getting better, but when I did Lie Ren, I was really, really still noobish to how to do those, and so my armholes are kind of like motion restricting in Lie Ren, and it's very frustrating, which is why I keep saying I'm going to remake that costume, and then I keep putting it off because, you know, I manage time so well.
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah, let me see how many old answers I can hit on my way through this one.
Right.
Yeah, no. But yeah, so I kind of just sort of made it by having it like on the dress form, and that was how I did it. So a lot of people, you know, that's what they ask me about, and that's unfortunately the only answer. I can't say use simplicity 9969 or whatever the number would be, and I'm really sorry that I can't do that, or there's no actual pattern I can point people at other than just, you know, if you don't have a dress form, get the fabric, get cheap fabric to make your mock-up, because it's not gonna go right the first time probably, unless you're amazing. I am not. And
all right. Nah. Well, the end result's pretty amazing.
But yeah, you just kind of have to
the journey
pin
there,
it on you and play around with it and get it to all lay right and get all the triangles and so many triangles. But yeah, so unfortunately, there's no easy answer I can give you other than just sort of like play around with it, keep trying, make up your mock-ups. But yeah, that's the one I get the most, I'm pretty sure.
All right. And the final question. What is the biggest piece of advice you can give aspiring cosplayers?
I have like two, one of which I've already touched on, which is, you know, do what makes you happy. If it's buying the costume, if it's making the costume, if it's going to the thrift store and getting a jacket and cutting it up so it looks like the, oh my god, I love thrift store costumes. I have so many. Like, I actually, Panda Cosplay asked me recently, how many costumes have you done? And I was like, with photo shoots, about like 50, including like ones I haven't gotten photos of, it's around 60. And he's like, how many of those did you make yourself? And I was like, 18, and like 15 I bought, and the rest of them I all picked up from thrift stores and just played around with.
Macklemore would be proud.
I know, like that was my jam, man. I'm gonna pop some tags. So yeah, whatever it takes, like, to get your costume done and for you to be happy with it, do it. Like, don't worry about what other people are gonna think. And like, you know, my other one is keep trying, because I mean, you're gonna suck at the beginning unless you're like super talented, in the case I hate you. Go die in a fire. No, I'm not really. Wow, very envious of those people. Shut up. I'm filled with bitterness and envy. Everyone thinks I'm so nice, and then I'm like, I hate all of you people with not boobs. 50% of the population, I just hate you.
Well,
it's
you don't like 48%.
Alright. But yeah, some people are amazingly talented to start. Yeah, fuck you. You were born with a missing part of a chromosome that I got the full copy of. Screw you.
Although to be fair, I was born with a remarkably flat chest, so... Because I'm skinny. I was fat from 0 months to 12 months, and then that was it.
Yeah. I'm at least a little bit with you there, because I am rail thin, and that I've had several friends be like, J-Jo, give me your boobs, and I'm like, no, I need them for crossplay purposes. Because all crossplayers are like, I don't want these boobs. They're too big. Give me smaller boobs, or just take them away entirely. So yeah.
Give me your boobs.
Yeah, I can think of at least 2 or 3 friends who have said that to me. But yeah, so
oh my god.
Like I was saying, you're not going to be good at the start. You're going to have a rough time getting started. You're going to have to learn. But if you keep at it, you're gonna improve. it is hard, and it is an expensive hobby. Not gonna lie, cosplay, even if you go with the thrift store option, can be a very expensive hobby with, like, wigs and the clothes and everything. Oh my god, props. So, you know, be sure when you get into it not to get too caught up in it so that all of a sudden it's like, oh, I should have paid my rent, but I bought this costume instead. Do not become that. So yeah, but if you just keep trying and you keep working at it and you keep, you know, step by step getting there, you're going to improve. And yeah, it might be at the beginning, nothing seems to go right, nothing seems to look right, but you will get better. And even if your costume's not perfect, even if, you know, you don't look like the amazing cosplayers you see on the internet, you're gonna find that person at the con who's gonna be like, oh my god, you're cosplaying this character. You just made my day because you love this character that I love. I want to get your picture. I want to talk with you because I'm just so happy to have found you. And that's the point where that is the addiction point. That's the point where there's no return. You are a cosplayer after that point. You can't stop. And it's a wonderful feeling. It's the best feeling in the world when you're like, you can connect with people via that, and I love it. It's what keeps me cosplaying.
All right. And with that, that'll conclude the interview portion of this episode. Real quick, you referenced a lot of people, and I'm not going to link them all because I'm fucking lazy. I'm lazy. So, is there anybody specific that you would like to shout out that will for 100% certainty be linked in the description below?
Gonna think. I'm gonna say Iron-Wang because she referenced me, and I'm like, it is only fitting that I get my revenge by, like, talking about how she's my cosplay idol and I can't wait to work with her. And yeah, like, seriously, you should see the chat between me and Vomit Boy Arc, where Vomit Boy Arc was watching your show before I was. Like, I'd just gotten on and they were like, oh, Riot's talking about you. And I was like, what? And, like, on the Cody show. And I was like, what? And so I turn it on.
On the Cody
show. Yes, I turn it on. And when we get to that part, my posts in the chat with me and John Vomit Boy Art just become no! Why?
I apologize to anybody wearing headphones.
Yeah, so that was so I definitely want to reference her and kind of like get back at her for that. And I think Lacee-Girl and Queen-Valkyrie. And those are the three who are, like, the biggest fans of your show and the biggest in the RWBY fandom. Because a lot of the other ones, they've interacted with the fandom, but they're not really in the fandom the way those three people are.
All right. Not your roommate.
All right, yeah.
Sucker. This is for making me look dumb.
This is what happens. But yeah, let's get Canary Puka in there. Canny Puka. I always say it Canary, and she always gets on me about that. Canny Puka cosplay.
Alright, I'm following them on Tumblr. Yeah. I'll be able to find them. No worries there. Alright, and with that is going to conclude this episode of Cody Talks Fandom. I want to thank JoJo for agreeing to come onto the show. A lot of fun having you on. Was a blast to do. Lots of great stories, I'm sure. I don't know how many of them I can put in story time and how many of them I can put in this one.
Here. Thank you so much for having me, Cody, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry to you. I'm sorry to everyone who had to hear this. I'm sorry.
But yeah, that will conclude this episode of Cody Talks Fandom. Another reminder to please sign up for Cody Talks Fandom RTX Edition interviews. It just takes it should be about 5 questions is what I'm estimating it to be at. I haven't made the list yet, but should be about 5 questions, and it will all be very, very quick. I don't want to take away a lot of time from your con because that takes away a lot of time from my con, and that's just a lose-lose situation. And I want to be able to enjoy, and I want everybody to be able to enjoy the full RTX experience, but I want to bring in something else. So do sign up. Link to that in the description below if you want to do that. Otherwise, tune in next week when I'll have a new episode of Cody Talks Fandom. Next Tuesday, there will be an announcement for, I want to say it's Artist next? Yes, Artist interview is next. I need to contact that person. So tune in next Tuesday when the announcement video for that one will be up. Otherwise, I'll see all of you the next time. Bye!